What proposition did the children of Dan have for Micah's priests, and why did he accept it? This is the question that we seek to answer today as we continue our verse-by-verse study of the book of Judges on Walking Through the Bible. Today we're going to be discussing Judges 18 verses 14 to 26. But before we do that, let's read the passage. If you have a Bible with you, turn to Judges chapter 18 verse 14. But if you don't have a Bible, don't worry. Just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So Judges chapter 18, beginning at verse 14. Then the 5 men who had gone out to spy out the country of Laish answered and said to their brethren, Do you know that there are in these houses an ephod, household idols, a carved image, and a molded image? Now therefore, consider what you should do. So they turned aside there and came to the house of the young Levite man, to the house of Micah, and greeted him. The 600 men, armed with their weapons of war, who were of the children of Dan, stood by the entrance of the gate. Then the 5 men who had gone to spy out the land went up. Entering there, they took the carved image, the ephod, the household idols, and the molded image. The priests stood at the entrance of the gate with the 600 men who were armed with the weapons of war. When these went into Micah's house and took the carved image, the ephod, the household idols, and the molded image, the priest said to them, What are you doing? And they said to him, Be quiet, put your hand over your mouth, and come with us. Be a father and a priest to us. Is it better for you to be a priest to the household of one man, or that you be a priest to the tribe and a family in Israel? So the priest's heart was glad, and he took the ephod, the household idols, and the carved image, and took his place among the people. Then they turned and departed, and put the little ones, the livestock, and the goods in front of them. When they were a good way from the house of Micah, the men who were in the houses near Micah's house gathered together and overtook the children of Dan. And they called out to the children of Dan. So they turned around and said to Micah, What ails you, that you have gathered such a company? So he said, You have taken away my gods which I made, and the priest, and you have gone away. Now what more do I have? How can you say to me, What ails you? And the children of Dan said to him, Do not let your voice be heard among us, lest angry men fall upon you, and you lose your life, with the lives of your household. Then the children of Dan went their way, and when Micah saw that they were too strong for him, he turned and went back to his house. In our last lesson, we looked at how some of the children of Dan began looking for a new place to live because there wasn't enough room in the land allotted to that tribe in the days of Joshua. Now, it wasn't because Joshua didn't allot them enough land to begin with, but according to Judges 134, that the tribe of Dan didn't defeat all of the Amorites, who in turn wouldn't allow them to occupy the valleys. Instead of dealing with this problem, some of the families decided then that it would be better if they moved. So these families decided to send 12 spies out to spy the land. 5 spies out to spy the land, and eventually these men traveled up to the far north in Israel and found a settlement named Laish. This settlement was near the headwaters of the Jordan River. The people lived peacefully and securely there, and it was far enough away from the Sidonians that the spies thought the people of Dan could take it easily. Coming back to the territory of Dan, this is the report that was given. Coming out of verse 14, we have the company of people who left Dan coming back into the territory of Ephraim and the house of Micah. Recall, the spies came to this place on their way up to Laish on the first trip, so it is reasonable to expect that they would stop here again. However, when they came the second time, it was more than just a social visit, for they had decided that they would take all the idols there along with the ephod. Now, why would these men do this? Well, the text doesn't say specifically, but you have to imagine that the children of Dan liked the setup of this shrine and thought it would be a good idea to have a shrine up in their territory so that they wouldn't have to travel down to Shiloh. Why not make, then, images for yourself? Why steal this man's images? Think about it. They were there. The idols were there. Why make idols for yourself when you have the manpower to take already made idols for free? And add to that these men didn't want to simply take the idols. They wanted the Levite, who was serving as priest, to come with them and attend to their altars there. Their proposition to this man was this: Do you want to serve as priest over a household of one man, or over a tribe in Israel? Covetousness, pride, and prestige was the reason the Levite accepted this proposal, for a righteous Levite wouldn't have been working in the house of Micah to begin with, but he also wouldn't have traveled with the people of Dan to become a priest over the entire tribe up there. The Levites were to be priests over all of the tribes, not just one of them. But pride often gets in the way of us making the right decisions, and so this Levite left with the Danites. Now naturally, when it came to Micah's knowledge about what had happened, he gathered a band of men and chased after the Danites. He caught up with them, and when he did, the Danites asked him what was wrong. Micah responded that they had taken away his idols to Jehovah. They had taken away his priest. What more did he have? He was accusing them of taking away that which was important and valuable to him. The Danites' response gave Micah a choice. Would he rather that they take his money or his life? For if he fought them in this matter, then they would kill him. Seeing as how he was going to be unable to win, Micah retreated to his home, and the Danites continued north. Just a quick note on Micah. Remember that at the end of chapter 17, Micah thought the Lord would do good to him because he had a Levite serving as priest in his shrine. This event goes to show us that the Lord wasn't with him at all, for he allowed Micah's idols to be stolen. Now this doesn't mean that God approved of what the Danites did, but he did allow it to happen. Micah's idols were worth quite a bit of money, and he probably was making something from the fact that he had this shrine at his house. He now lost all of that. A judgment on Micah himself. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of Judges chapter 18, verses 27 to 31, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time. Thank you for watching today's episode. We hope that you found it edifying and ask that you not only subscribe to our channel and podcast, but that you like and share this episode among your friends, so that the saving gospel of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.